Hello everyone and welcome back to Mexico Now Festival, el podcast. My name is Ana Maria Willars. I am an actress, writer, and producer from Mexico based in New York City. Today I am here with Sofía Carrillo, filmmaker whose work has been presented at Morelia International Film Festival, longtime collaborator of Mexico Now Festival, and are here to present award-winning short films. Morelia International Film Festival is one of Mexico's most renowned gatherings for contemporary cinematography, bringing to light the most compelling fiction, cutting-edge animation, and insightful documentaries. Sofía Carrillo is a filmmaker, member of the Academy of the Oscars, and of the Mexican Academy of Film Arts and Sciences. She has been nominated 5 times for Ariel Awards. She has won 2 Ariels for Best Animated Short Film, for Prita Noire 2012 that will be presented in these editions of Mexico Now Festival, and Cerulia 2018 that has already been a part of Mexico Now Festival. In 2022, she worked with Guillermo del Toro on Pinocchio. She has been a part of festivals such as Sundance, Morelia International Film Festival, Chicago Film Festival, Toronto Film Festival, Fantastic Fest, and more. Thank you so much for being here, Sofía.
My pleasure. Thank you for the invitation.
It's an honor to have you here, and I'm so excited to know everything about your trajectory and how you view art.
Thank you. I'm going to try to do my best in order not to forget anything and make this dialogue curious and not very serious. So, yeah, let's have fun.
Yes, let's have fun. And actually, to start, let's have fun with some rapid questions just to get to know you better. Why do you find stop motion a medium exciting to explore and to use in order to share your stories?
I want to share that I'm the youngest daughter of a couple of artists, painters, and I think I have a very close relationship with art since I was a little girl. So I think I was a girl with a lot of fantasy, thoughts and feelings, and because I had a very strong relationship with paint, I wanted to live inside of the pictures. I wanted to live inside of those beautiful atmospheres. So I do stop motion because I like to create those worlds where I would like to live in. So I'm in love of crafting, modeling faces, or I don't know, the props, the sets. So it is lovely to think on textures, on tactile textures. And if we construct that, it's kind of constructing a little world where you can live in somehow. And I think also that the stop motion has a very strong relationship with the feelings of a child. It's somehow that you're playing with fancy toys when you're animating, and it's kind of the same feeling. You're creating worlds, and somehow you're living those realities. So during this time that I've been working with stop motion, I realized that each work can be done with a very different technique. I mean, even if it's a stop motion, it can be paper, it can be silicone, it can be resin. There are so many materials. It's just like being a child, a professional kid. Jorge Gutierrez says that animators are somehow professional kids. Yeah, I keep doing that, and for me it's amazing.
And going off of that, right, like being a kid and exploring and being inside of this world, what is a movie that shaped your work and storytelling?
When I was a little girl, probably I was 8-year-old kid, and I saw this beautiful extract of The Mascot from Ladislaus Starevitz, which is a very dark tale of a puppet that suddenly becomes alive and has a lot of adventures, and the mascot, the puppet, even meets with the devil, I think. So I feel I was very little to see this, but I was so amazed by this dark feeling. So I was so attracted to that. I think I was scared but attracted at the same time. And I have to say that since that moment, some of the things that I've been still working, or some of the themes that I've been thinking and putting into my work are still some of these things that I saw when I was very little. I had an important aesthetic moment when I saw that short film.
I haven't seen that short film, but I will add it to my list. But yeah, it's so impressive how something we see in the future then stays with us and continues to appear in our aesthetic and choices. Now, regarding more contemporary work, what is a recent movie that made you think different about film, stop-motion animation, or storytelling in general?
Probably the first one and the most important was a stop-motion. This dark fairy tale stop-motion. But I think probably 5 years ago, I had this encounter with this animator, Susan Pitt. So I was able to see her short film, Asparagus. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing correctly, but it's from 1979, I think. It's difficult to find the words to define what I felt. I saw this. This is a mixture, I believe, of 2D, cutout animation, made in probably 4 years. And this is the feminine point of view, I would say also very dark, very subtle, but also very, it's like kind of also perverse. I do not know, but I had the feeling to see something very feminine, subversive, important, shocking, beautiful. And I think I became aware of the importance of the feminine voice in the world of animation. But it's also like El Bosco, this painter. And so when you see her short film, it's kind of to see a feminine version of El Bosco, but modern and animation. Yeah, it's just like quite an experience to see this work.
I want to ask you about your career and how you started. How did you start working on film? Where did you find your first opportunities? And how did you continue to grow on them?
I decided to go into a film school here in Guadalajara because that was my only opportunity to study film or animation that I had in those days. I was 19 when I went into this film school in Guadalajara. So it was great. That was the perfect environment to relate with people that also wanted to make cinema with very similar conditions that I had, with very similar contexts, of course. So that was what I started by working in local TV channels after I just finished my school. And that was also a way to relate. And very soon I had the opportunity to work as an art director for live action. And then I worked on my thesis, my graduation work from my professional studies. And that was the first animation thesis that was made in my school, en la Licenciatura de Artes Audiovisuales de la Universidad de Guadalajara. So I think I didn't start since then. And then I had a very close friends with them. We decided to do stop-motion animation in black and white, 35 millimeters. And I think that was the first time that was the beginning. And then somehow I didn't stop. I keep working first in a very simple way, in a very small way, with very low budget. Like my parents paid my first short films. And I did art direction work to pay the rent. And then I had my short films. But at some point, one work lead to the other work. So I kind of didn't stop until now. It's been a great journey. I don't have any regrets. It's been, of course, painful sometimes, but it's been just like, all my works are very related in a very, in intimacy with my life. So I have to say that they're kind of my kids, and they, of course, I gave them my life at some point. So yeah, it's kind of my flesh and blood, made short films.
So you started your studies at the University of Guadalajara and you did stop motion there. How's the journey from doing stop motion in Guadalajara in the university to working on Pinocchio with Guillermo del Toro?
So there is this very important movement of animation in Guadalajara, the stop motion Guadalajara school movement, with very important artists involved. So as you know, Guillermo del Toro is very in love with stop motion animation. So I think he saw that we were working hard here in Guadalajara, and I believe that since Pinocchio was one of his dreams, he wanted to pay some love to his hometown by bringing some part of Pinocchio here in Guadalajara. We are very happy that Guadalajara is the home of the second unit of Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. I think this is a very important precedent here in Guadalajara, in Mexico. And this is the hometown of very talented artists. I really believe that this is going to be the seed of a very important work, and it's going to be very important for the developing of young artists.
And you were saying that there's a lot of people from Mexico, and especially from Guadalajara, that do stop motion animation. How do you see these opportunities helping reshape the perspective of Mexican art all over the world? And how do you think Mexican artists' perspective makes a different approach to art because of the culture?
It's very important for our generation, to be aware of the new things, speaking or probably with philosophical, And I believe that it's also very important for young generations to see that it's possible to go out and it's possible to do stop motion animation outside of the country. It's important because sometimes parents say it's important to see this as a very serious, professional, new career. I think for traditional Mexican parents, sometimes it's difficult to see their children to try to do art because there is this idea that art doesn't pay pretty well. So it is important for young generations to see that it is possible to live doing art. It is good for the soul to do something that you love to do. And it's important to show to the others how really is our culture. It's not only about violence. There's a complexity and there's a profound roots. It follows you everywhere you go. So even if we speak in very for different topics, even if artists speak from their experiences and very different topics, I believe that with all our art, we try to make a image of the complexity of Mexico and the richness of our culture. And there is this special way to speak of the Mexican, very from the heart, very warm, and but also strong. We are very close from the dead, so that complexity and contrast makes a very unique mixture of.
I actually think it was Guillermo del Toro who said that Mexican art is so related to the death, culture is so related to death, and that informs everything we do and how we live and enjoy life. And it's definitely true. And it's a craft that asks so much of you and your collaborators, not only time, but dedication and creativity and passion and your heart and your soul and everything. So besides all of this craft, and that is so visible and so easy to grasp on and admire, what else do you think makes your work so touching for people, that makes them connect so direct with your work?
So I think I have a very different thesis with each one of my works. But I do have rules. I think my main rule is always to keep honest. Always speaking from some topic that I know, that I really know, and then I really feel some topic that take me through the journey from the beginning to the end of the project itself. So that's probably a rule. And each one of my short films have a different thesis. For example, I will say that The Sad House, this short film made with objects, was made with the idea that art can be the cure of illness, but not only mental illness, also physical illness. So art can be the cure, and probably not only for the artist that makes the project, but also for the viewer. And I'm not sure, I haven't proved that thesis, but that short film helped me to heal some of the actual events that were happened in that time. It's been like that with each one of my short films. For example, with Prita Noire, that it's the film that it's in the retrospective of Mexico Now in New York. I would say that I didn't feel a mature person. So that film was based on an investigation of siblings, twins. So there is this phenomenon of a brother that stays inside of the other brother. It's like a parasite twin. So at that time, that short film was based on a medical research, but also on my feelings on not being able to mature. And I also felt that I didn't have arms. I didn't have enough technical abilities. So that's represented in the no arms dolls. So yeah, actually there are a lot of things. There's always a thesis, but with each work change, and it's like a process that of course impacts your life, and it's like a 2, 3, or 4 year journey that of course impact the way you think about that topic.
And now we have talked about your past career and where you are now. I want to look a little bit forward, because you have won so many Aries and you have been to Sundance and Cannes. So after achieving so much, what are you looking forward in your creative process and in your collaboration with others?
I must say that it's very important to have this kind of recognition, because it really helps to move forward in a world full with very talented people. It's been a surprise for me that my strange stuff have achieved this kind of movement and recognition. I'm really happy, and I'm very proud of those works, of those short films. Now, I really would like to move to a longer process. I'm trying to move to a very long project, and I really want to see how can we move to that part. I mean, if with a short film you can spend like 2-3 years just dreaming in the possibility of a feature-length film, it feels like a very difficult journey. But I really would love to do that jump. So that's something that I want to see, if I'm able to do it. So I'm always happy to collaborate with new artists. And I think the most important thing is to be able to get in the mood of a collaboration, but also it's so it really enrich your view, the heart of the other artist. So yeah, even if sometimes it's not very easy to have a perfect dialogue with other talented minds, it's always a delicious journey to be able to speak with others and to complete or enrich your point of view. Yeah, this dialogue with other artists really make this journey a very special moment in your life. These artists becomes somehow your family. You really spend so many time with them while creating. So I think I really enjoyed to become friends and also to understand very well other artists. So what I'm saying is that I'm looking forward to share one part of my life to enrich the experiences and to be able to create a very congruent film. It's always the main thing that you want to achieve. And in the journey, it can be surprises. It always has been for me a very nice experience. Even if you have some disagrees, it's something that I really love of doing films.
Last thing I want to ask you is, and we were talking about this in the beginning of the podcast, of how we have these perspectives that artists will never be able to feed themselves, and that is a very harsh career to maintain. What advice do you have to young artists who are afraid of trusting their artistic voices and getting themselves into the film industry?
I must say that this is to advise to others is always a challenge because also for myself, I'm always trying to say and to remember what makes me keep doing this stuff. I must say that I'm going to go back to the honest rule. Honestly, if I'm going to say something that takes me 4 or 5 years, it has to be something that I really feel that it's very important, like a very dead or alive thing. Yeah, it can be very simple, it can be very complex, but it's something that you really think that it's valuable to say. If you have something valuable to say, because it's something that comes from your heart and you think that it can help to others and help heal something in your community or for yourself, for your family, I think that you have to be very, very brave and try to do it, even if you feel that you don't have the perfect tools, even if you feel that you don't have the budget. But with the tools that you have, technical and intellectual, I think the world can be a better place if you're able to finish your work. It really feels like a mission, and if you do that work, the next one, you're going to be more experienced and you are going to be improving with your technical resources, and if you keep doing, people is going to help, and you're also going to find your collaborators. So you're also going to find a team, and you're going to strengthen the team of collaborators. So just do it. Don't be afraid. I mean, everybody starts at some point, and that's just the starting point. And I've just listened a very important artist from Mexico, Jorge Gutierrez. He was saying in his lecture something that I really value, and I'm going to repeat. And don't be afraid of failing. And it's very important. You really learn about everything by failing, but also just don't stop. Don't feel afraid of failing, because probably not doing your work is going to be the fail. Move ahead with your work. It's going to be worth it, all the effort that you put in there. So yes, and I'm going to say those words also for myself. just keep going and believe on the things that you have to say. Probably the world doesn't need another movie. The world needs vaccines. The world needs peace. But if you and a team of friends gather together and really believe and tell a story that can help you and can help others, I mean, that's really something important to do.
Thank you, Sofia. That was beautiful advice that I am definitely going to follow myself as a future graduate. Before we go, is there a social media that you want people to follow you and keep up with your work?
Well, I have an Instagram. It's on Prita Noire. Yeah, you can find me as Prita Noire in Instagram. That's probably my more active social media.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sofia, for sharing about your work. And if you want to see Sofia's film and also all of the rest of the films that are going to be presented through Morelia International Film Festival, make sure to attend to Mexico Now Festival from November 20 to the 24 at the Chelsea Factory in New York City. Thank you so much.